Welcome to another Pioneer gameplay. So today I'm bringing you NEOMACHUS. So the namesake of the card or the deck is Neoform. As an additional cost, you sacrifice a creature and then you search your library for a creature card with casting cost +1 of the thing that you sacrificed, and it comes with a +1/+1 counter on it. The deck only has 10 creature cards. That would be 4 Tasigur and 4 Hooting Mandrills. From there, both of them are actually 6 mana cost. Therefore, if you cast Neoform, then you'll be able to search for NEOMACHUS. Thing with NEOMACHUS is that that's haste, and when you cast it with Neoform, you actually, to be honest, be able to come into play with a +1/+1. Now it's a 6/6. When it attacks, it can now cast Temporal Sundering, which is 6 to cast as well. Part Daughter Veil, which is 6 to cast as well. And, well, that's basically it. The name of the game is for me to attack you, let's just say, like 3 times or 4 times to win the game. There are new cards in the deck from this earlier iteration. This specific deck list doesn't have Thoughtseize. It only has Invoke Calamity. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to cast, 4 red. And it says you may cast up to 2 instants or sorcery spells with converted mana cost 6 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Now, the thing with this card, it synergizes well with our draw card effects in the form of Consider, Otherworldly Gaze, and Contingency Plan with Tygum Scheming. So we can fill our graveyard so that we can delve our creatures. And that's it. That's the gameplay, or that's the deck. Now onto the sideboard, we have Leyline of Sanctity for those anti-hand disruptions. We also have a couple of Mystical Disputes, 3 of them. Anti-counterspell, Swan Song, same idea. Stern Dismissal is sort of anti-Jeska Ascendancy and at the same time also a sort of anti-creature type of sideboard plan. Abrupt Decay against, well, to be honest, I'm not too privy about what we're trying to abrupt decay. We could argue that it also could hit, say for example, Ascendancy, maybe some graveyard hate cards, and I think that's it at the top of my head. We also have Malevolent Hermit, just, anti-counter spells. If we look at the top metagame for Pioneer, we have Venota, Rakdos midrange. Definitely the sideboard is geared against those types of decks. With Stern Dismissal, being able to bounce Venota. I think that's it. Now onto the gameplay. Alright, here we are. We won the die roll. We're against Pink Boom 69. I'm gonna play first. Wow, this is a sample of a hand that we cannot keep definitely because the NEOMACHUS lore holds are in our hand. So we're gonna mulligan this, unfortunate. And this one is a sample of a hand that we cannot also keep. There's no graveyard enablers. We do have a Hooting Mandrill. Unfortunate that we have these. What can we do? Okay, this is a sample of a hand that we can keep. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna bottom probably a Machus, and I would go with a Blooming Marsh. I'm prioritizing a Hooting Mandrill just in case it gets answered. So I'm hoping that we can get some lands though. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that instead. Let's start with Botanical Sanctum untapped, I mean. Let's see what our opponent is playing. Hopefully it's not counterspell. Let's forest into Oath of Nissa. Let's see what they're going to get. Okay, that was a Useiju. Let's consider. Ooh, put in the graveyard. Maybe not. Yeah, just put it on the graveyard. Contingency plan. Don't mind if I do. So I'm going to put in another Botanical Sanctum just to play a contingency plan. So from this, I'm just looking for my Neoform. Let's see, are there any Neoforms here? No, so we're going to bin all of them. Okay, it's looking for that Neoform. I hope opponent doesn't have a anti-graveyard stuff. Ooh, okay, this is mono green. Here's another contingency plan. A lot of planning. Top 5 cards. So hopefully those are not cards that we want, but we still have a scheming. So everything goes to the bin except for the scheming. Say okay, put on top and drop. F6, go. So those were a lot of essentially by turn 3 we already looked at 18 cards of our deck. That's like almost 1/3 of our deck. We're just gonna go with hopefully winning from that position. Yeah, Opponent is looking at the graveyard right now. We're just waiting, biding our sweet, sweet time. Okay, so there's a Shrine of the Forsaken God. Something that I wasn't expecting. So, is this a Boseiju? Use the ability, say yes. Just gonna go with a... Nope. Oop, that's just the scheming. Putting mandrills. Put in graveyard. Okay, I mean, that's 35. Let's see. Okay, let's cultivate. Opponent is definitely ramping up. I think their deck is... oh no. Oh, there's red. So 1, 2... Oh, this is Neoform. So it's time to rumble. Here's a Mandrill. Okay, so that's one. Let's go for land, 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 and land. Then we're gonna go for Neoform. Sacrifice this. NEOMACHUS lower horde. Hold. Attack. Okay. Cast without paying mana costs. And we're gonna go with Park the Water, Veil, and cast without paying. Cast without paying mana costs. The turn. Okay, it's one. That's another Tasagur. Let's attack first. Okay, cast another Cards Temporal Sundering. 2. Let's go for Tasagur. Sanctum, 2. Plan and plan. Oof, tough. Going with a beatdown plan. Okay, let's Park the Water, Veil, and good game. Nicely done. Nicely done. So against their deck, it felt that their deck is somewhat weird because there was red, I think it's ramp. So definitely it's going to contain some sort of graveyard hate. So I'll probably go with some abrupt decays. Probably that's my thought process here. I think that's the only thing that they would have. And then I'd probably remove some of my Invoke Calamities. Question mark? So it's either Invoke Calamity. Yeah, I think Invoke Calamity would be my board outs here. And what else? What else do we want? Stern Dismissal might not be a great card. Because if they're playing Eldrazi and we Stern Dismissal, it's not really, it doesn't do much for us. So we do have almost the combo without the lands. So I'm gonna mulligan this. We have, if this was blue, I would probably have kept it, but I'm gonna mulligan it now. Ooh, I mean, sure, can keep. We don't want to mulligan further. So that's an elf, okay. That's a Otherworldly Gaze. So I think we can shock this in. Let's see what they come up with on to casts. Pilgrimage. Okay, quite cool. So they're essentially a ramp deck. Is Abrupt Decay, Neoform. Probably take a Neoform. Okay, put on top. Okay. Blooming Marsh. And let's go for Contingency. Now I'm just looking for a creature. Not any of these. Don't worry about that. Okay. Hopefully they don't have any graveyard hate. That's 5 mana. Let's see. Okay. 2. Another Pilgrimage. Okay. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Okay. Hopefully there's no Plummet. Okay, another elf. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I mean, that's a scheming right there. Let's go for a contingency plan. Ooh, we are burning through our deck, definitely. And drop. Go. That's our third turn. Hopefully they don't have any big fatties. 6 to cast, 7 to cast. Is this a World Breaker? Okay, World Breaker it is. Interesting. Okay. It has reach. Consider. I think we can consider first. I'm looking for a land. Yes. Oh, that's a Hooting Mandrills. Oh, baby. If I cast it now, is there a way for it to be removed? Like an Ugin? Ugin activation? Okay, let's expose it. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, go. Hopefully no Walking Ballistas. Okay. That's a Oath of Nisa. Let's see. They're not snap keeping. Okay, that's a Boseiju. They going to Boseiju? Question mark. Or okay. Ooh, another World Breaker. Okay, see how it is. All we need to do now is stop deck a land. But if they stay on the defense, we can still go through with it because we do have some. We do have some temporal sundering. Okay, we're gonna go for green. Taking that damage. No blocks. Come on. Land. Yes. Better lucky than good. Neoform. Velomachus. Attack. Yep. Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay. Can I underworldly gaze though? Otherworldly gaze. Cast without paying mana costs. Graveyard. Graveyard. Okay. They gonna block? Yikes. Okay. I think we're dead next turn. They attack with all creatures and they pump with a layer. Hoping we're gonna get some part veils. Ooh, this is Big Daddy. Big Daddy. Okay, an 8-8. Okay, they got us here. They got us here. We're gonna concede. We're gonna begin sideboarding. We almost got it though. Okay. So that said, they didn't sideboard too much because I think maybe we need to drop some form of consider and do it that way so that the threat density is not that bad. Game 3, I'm gonna play first. I hope we're lucky enough. We don't have a enabler, so we're gonna mulligan. So we're only looking for one card now. I think we can get away with this. I'm gonna put this to the bottom. Stay done. We're gonna start with a Tomb Tapped, then Scheming. Okay. Wanna see what they're gonna get. Ooh, okay. Rampadoodles. Neoform. Wow, nice. Okay. Say yes. Scheming. Then next turn, hopefully we win. I'm going to bin everything. Okay, so we have 2 things that we binned. How many things do we want to bin though? I don't want these in my hand, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go with... Okay. Next turn, let's try to win. Okay, what is this? This is a non-land permanent cards in graveyard and library can enter the battlefield. Oh, okay. Okay, I see how it is. I'm still gonna go with Tasager. So that would be 3, 4, 5. And delve those away. My Tasager, we're gonna pass the turn. And now I'll just be looking for something to interact with the rune. Cultivate. Sure. Cultivate. We're going to flash back. Wait. Players can cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Okay. Ooh, no. I kinda like that. I go for land. Ooh, that comes to play tap land. Going to attack. Gonna play land. Land drop, pass the turn. Hopefully they don't do anything. 6 to casts. What is this? Cavalier of Thorns. Nice. Okay. Okay. Caryatid. Okay. Quite cool. Here's my decay. Here's my Neoform. Here's my dragon. Here's me attacking. Okay, going to cast one of these. Okay, no blocks. We're going to flash back the Otherworldly Gaze. Definitely not doing any of these ones. I just want to draw the Otherworldly Gaze. Put it on top. Okay. Draw it. Cast it first. Then definitely going to remove these downs. Put into the graveyard. Put into the graveyard. Flash it back again. Make sure that I have... okay, Temporal Sundering. Attack. Okay, cast the cards Temporal Sundering. Me and turn the Cavalier to hand. You're down to 4 and I win the game. Easy as that. Easy as that. And attack again. Nicely done by us. So We're lucky that we actually were able to draw the cards that we need when we were trying to draw them. So the clutch game was the abrupt decay that we had a while ago. Obviously, that was the clutch right there. And it just so happens that they don't interact well with our hand. That being said, with the popularity of like ramps variant, we would be able to, or hoping to be able to play against these types of decks. All right, that's it. On to the next one. Right. We're playing first. We're against Maiko 1993. Looks good. Sounds good. I'm just going to look for a, what do you call this? A black mana for my Tasigur. So my Otherworldly Gaze would be the best thing that we could play. Then drop F6. Go. Let's see what our opponent is playing. It really depends on what they're playing here. Some form of disruption, some form of... Oh, that's red and black. Yikes. Not so great. Scheming, Blooming Marsh, Blooming Marsh. Okay. This on top. Draw a card. And drop. Pass the turn. Go. So, it really totally depends on what they are playing here. Looks like they're playing the black. So here's a Otherworldly Gaze. Hopefully we don't draw our second NEOMACHUS. We did not. So here's my Door Hold. Tasigur. Okay, Light Step. This could be Grixis Vampires though. Neoform. Okay, Door Hold. Attack. Taking turns. Contingency. Evoke Calamity, eh? This is bad. Evoke Calamity says, man, this is kind of bad. Overall, put any of these to my graveyard. So probably any of these. So all of these. Okay. 14. Hopefully they don't have a removal. Lightning Axe. Okay. Grease Fang. Okay, this is Grease Fang. Onto the sideboard, Grease Fang. I'm not certain if they should have done that, but I think that was their out, question mark? Grease Fang, eh? So, Lightning Axe, Fatal Push, Porthole, Thoughtseize, Damping Sphere, Go Blank, and Graveyards. So, basically, everything to do with Graveyard. 8 that targets. I think these are what we usually boarded out. Some consider a plan. And I really like the Worldly Gaze. It very much enables the deck. So I'm not going to board those out. This is a hand that we cannot keep, as we know. So here's the thing that I noticed as well. There's a couple of games that we have played by now. At least 8 to 10 matches, right? Or 8 to 10 games. And the Lore Hold almost always end up in our opening hand. There's 2 of them. The ratio is not that great. This one we can keep. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna bottom a Part the Water Veil, obviously for reasons. And here's my playline. Okay, go. Okay. Stitcher Supplier. Oh, they're definitely going there. Grease Fang. Hooting Mandrills. Okay. It's black. They're gonna go for that. They'll probably go for a Tasigur. So we're going to land drop here and play some scheming. Make this all end up to the graveyard except for the Watery Grave. Okay. Hopefully the Grease Fang doesn't do us in. Okay, 2 casts. We're going to attack. Okay. Deadly Disputes. Okay. Stitcher Supplier. And now a card. Watery Grave. Untap. Shock this in. Here's my Tasigur. Leyline Scheming. I think I can go with Tasigur. And can we go with... I boarded out all of our invokes. So I'm going to remove the... Here's my Neoform. Like this. Door Hold. Go to combat. Attack. Let's take some turns. Okay. Current's Temporal Sundering. Okay. 12. Coolness. Now, just to make sure that we have everything we need, we're going to flashback this. Gaze. Coolness. So, Lore Hold. Okay. Part. Reading Pool. Okay. Draw card. So, that's 1, 2, 3. Never mind. Going to attack here. Here's a Part the Water Veil. And GG. Good game. Lucky that we were able to pull it off. The weakness of the deck is basically you have a window where they can interact with your dragon if they know what they're doing. But the cool thing about this is that the meta doesn't seem to be prepared, except for some fringe type of decks that is creature hate based. But yeah, it's kind of fun. Now on to the next one. Okay, we are on the drawer against Elf Kid. Shout out to Elf Kid. Quite cool. Putting mandrills, contingency plan, and otherworldly gaze. We're gonna keep, hopefully, their elves. The name suggests, and looks like it's not. Grazer into, ooh, okay. Botanical Sanctum, pass the turn. Let's see what's up. Nissa, looks like Devotion. Green Devotion, Forests, Land Drop Forests. Pass the turn. I will gaze, Otherworldly Gaze. Hooting Mandrills, definitely not things we want for now. We're going to put them all to the graveyard because we're in a hurry to get some cards that we need. We're gonna play blue. So I'm going to cast the contingency plan here, primarily because it digs deeper. Oh, nice. Okay, so I do have the Tasager right here. We don't need another contingency plan for sure. We need the Neo form. We don't need the Tasager. I mean, we're just gonna draw the Neo form and say, okay, put this on top, and pass the turn. Cultivate, really ramping it up. Okay, that's red. There's a one-off red. Am I missing something here? Are they... So, then you land Tasager, contingency plan, Neoform, Storehold, attack, Temporal Sundering. Let me just see. Scheming. Cast without paying mana cost. You, me, and return you. Okay, 14. And my turn. Here's my Otherworldly Gaze. Just to make sure that we have enough taking turns. Okay, top. Keep that. Attack. Attack you. Temporal Sundering. Target me. Okay, that's 8. Top this in. Contingency plan. Just to make sure that we are able to combo off. We don't need any of these. Gonna draw. That's a lore hold. We're going to attack. Okay, we got there. Turn 3 win-ish. Okay, sounds good. Not even going to play the consider now. They're down to 2. Sounds good. Begin sideboarding. I'm really quite lost with the meta right now. Is there a deck in what do you call this, in the meta that plays red and it's just ramp? We have Gruul ramp Pioneer. And this is okay, it's just really just ramp. Atarka, Pilgrimage, Oath of Nissa. It's really just ramp, literally ramp. And they're playing the Runestone. So that's the thing that we should be worried about, just the Runestone. 4 of those. So hopefully we can maneuver around. So there's we only have 2 Abrupt Decays, put it like that, submit the deck, and maybe a Swan Song just for a good measure. Oof. So this is the SCG. Okay, I see it. So there is a Gruul deck that went number 1 on June 4, 2 days ago. Basically, it's just ramp. It's all ramp. With 3 Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, Oath of Nissa. Wow. I'm going to keep this at the strength of Abrupt Decay, and I also have the Neo form. We're gonna keep it. Plus we also have the Otherworldly Gaze. That's Oath of Nissa. Let's see what they get. Elvish Mystic, draw card, Tasager, perfect. Now I'm just looking for lands. That's a stone, sure. My gaze, so gaze on these. I need this land. My Blooming Marsh. Here's my scheming. Okay. Consider contingency. What are the things that I don't want in my deck? Probably these. Say okay. You, and you. Okay. That's another Pilgrimage. Cool. So they're just really ramping up. Nice. Draw a card. Here's my Sanctum. Pass the turn. Mystic. Do they have hate for my... Ooh, not a good look. Gonna take that damage and hopefully it's game over. My Tasager. Here's my Ochus. Abrupt Decay, Teaming, Tasager. Consider. Here's my Neoform. Or hold. Hopefully. Ooh, not looking good. Not looking good at all. Okay. I mean, teaming. So, yeah, just this. Okay. Any of these to the top. Take that damage. Main. And drop. Okay, pass the turn. Really depends what happened now. Okay. 6, 7. Dragon Lord, 5 damage. Wits, does nothing. Say okay. Draw a card. I'm quite certain I did a contingency plan. Just making sure that we got it on top. Okay, sounds good. Put into the graveyard. Put into the graveyard. Okay, any of these on top. Here's my Hooting Mandrill. Maybe I'll do it later. Let me attack first. Karn's Temporal Sundering. Me return you. 6 damage. Down to 8. And here's my Mandrills for the win. Yeah, good game. Nicely done, nicely done. Don't get me wrong though, their deck is pretty sweet. So sweet. But I think our deck is better. Now that was fun. Now, thinking about the deck right now, what did underperform or overperform for me? So the way I see it, the Invoke Calamity, I felt that it's not needed so much for the deck. Precisely because sometimes it really requires you to actually have your Temporal Sundering or your the Water Veils in your graveyard, in which case you are already on the back foot because you're casting. You've basically done a Tasager scheming. The perfect curve for you is to basically go turn 1 under Worldly Gaze, turn 2 Flashback under Worldly Gaze or Contingency Plan, turn 3 Mandrills or Tasager into Neoform, and then Machus to win the game. You only basically need to consecutively do it, in theory, 3 times if your opponent shocked during their turn. However, that's the reason why I felt that the Calamity is underwhelming. I would rather want this to become Thoughtseize, so that you have a better hand interaction, especially for those decks that have a lot of like creature hate, so you can take them out. Also, this could also prime you to think about when you're going to combo. So I really like Thoughtseize instead of the Invoke Calamity. So this is the underperformer. The overperformer, I would really say the thing that carried this deck over is the Otherworldly Gaze. Look at the top 3 cards and Flashback. This card essentially enables your delve on its own. How crazy is that? That's really, really good. Looking at the sideboard plan, I felt that this druid might not be needed too much. I would rather be it a hand disruption. If you're just playing a counter war deck or like a counter attrition, hand disruption would be better, I would probably say, or putting in a bit more thought abrupt decay. So for me, probably replace this with Thoughtseize, 1 more Thoughtseize in the sideboard, another set of abrupt decay would be perfect, looking at how the decks are performing or how they are boarding out right now. All right, that's it. Now, if you enjoyed the gameplay, subscribe to your boy and give it a thumbs up. Let me know on the comment section down below what type of deck I should be playing the next modern gameplay. That's it. See you in the next one.